is Felix Onua. I'm from Reuters. My question is directed to Minister of Health. In one of the briefings, we were told that an investigation is being conducted to unearth the mass deaths in Kano. I would like to know whether the report or that investigation has been concluded and what the result is.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Friday Okerigwe. I'm a reporter with Channels TV. My first question goes to the Minister of Health. I'd like to know the whereabouts of the Chinese doctors. Yes, I'd like to know where they are now. Where are they operating from? The second question has to do with, I'd like to know updates about the returnees from Dubai. We're told that a test was conducted on them. What is the update? It's past 4 days or so. What is the result from the test? And I wish the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs here, because it has to do with N-Power beneficiaries. They are among those who are at home now because they are not rendering essential services. Their salaries, or their stipends rather, have not been paid. What is the plight? What is the fate for them? Thank you.
Good afternoon, members of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. My name is Yemi Adebayo from AIT. Well, I have a couple of questions here for the PTF today. And the first one has to do with the upliftment of the Madagascar COVID-19 cure. The SDF, you said on Monday that arrangement is currently being made to lift this consignment from Guinea-Bissau. I want to know, do we have the consignment now, and what's the next stage if we do have the consignment? If we don't have it now, what are the challenges? Because you told us on Monday that the arrangement is already being made. Then secondly, the DGNCDC, sir. You said it is agreed that spaces for treatment are becoming scarce, and I know that you said this thanks to that number as well. Are you thinking of priority care for those whose conditions are far worse, and do you think it's appropriate to allow those with no symptoms but with capacity to self-isolate in homes while receiving treatments to do so? Then the SGFs, I think you really need to assist us in this area. Some of us who are essential workers keep having these issues with security personnel after most of us will have concluded our assignments in the office. And I remember that you said, thanks to that number here, that essential service workers should be allowed to move. But it appears that the directives that the security personnel on the road have is quite different from what the PTF has issued out. Because I had encounter, and in fact some of my colleagues as well, NTA as well, we had encounters with some security personnel on Monday. Then on yesterday, I had a personal encounter with some of them, and I actually tried to tell them that the guidelines does not state that you shouldn't allow essential workers to move around. But they made me understand that the directive they get from PTF is different from the directive being issued by the FCT. I want you to please help us in a way, perhaps meet with the FCT authority on this matter. Then finally, someone would like to know if non-wearing of face mask is now a criminal offense, as read in the regulations. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the PTF, Nigerians at home. My name is Mitaire Ikpen. I report for the NTA. I want to ask the DG of the NCDC, given that human droplets containing coronavirus can remain on surfaces for hours, some Nigerians want to know, are there other agents of transmission of the coronavirus apart from human to human transmission, like rodents or housefly, which we know perch on surfaces a lot? And for the SGF, we'll have this question. With the coronavirus pandemic, the way we work and live now require greater internet access and connectivity, especially when we want to observe issues of social distancing and abide with the ban against mass gathering beyond 20 persons. So are we expecting new policies or plans by the federal government to increase broadband penetration and enable relevant companies in the industry to provide high-speed internet access, especially across the nation and in the hinterlands? That's the question. Thank you.
Good afternoon, USGF, members of the PTF, my colleagues. My name is Mohammed Saliu Nazif. I work for Voice of Nigeria. My question goes to Minister of Education State, SGF, and Information Minister. I would like to start with Education Minister. Sir, it is on record that the federal government of Nigeria have expended about 15 billion naira to establish Al-Majri School in Nigeria under administration of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. What is the state of these schools as of now? And who control these schools? What role did your ministry, through UBEC and SUBEC at the state level, play, either to the success or the failure of this Al-Majri system that we are seeing? To SGF, sir, going forward, we have seen how various states are repatriating these Al-Majris to their state of destinations. Is there any profiling going on about them so that post-COVID-19, at least making reference, taking them back to those schools, instead of allowing this school to just decay after spending billions of naira on it? To Minister of Information, sir, it's like a reminder, any update concerning insurance policy for the journalists on the front line? Thank you.
Good afternoon all. My name is Nike Adebowale. I report for Premium Times. My question is for the National Coordinator, sir. So we're all aware that NCDC was given about 5 billion naira to support its fight against COVID-19, and Lagos State was also given about 10 billion naira. So sir, I want to know how much has been given to the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development and other research agencies. Thank you.
Good evening, the SGF, ministers, my colleagues. My question is to the National Coordinator. My name is Nancy Anika from Radio Nigeria. It's more of a follow-up with what my colleague from the AIT said. Today, the medical doctors in the FCT held a briefing, and they are threatening to go on strike if the harassment by security agencies do not stop. They said they literally asked them to come down from their cars and sit on the floor once it's curfew, even with the presentation of their ID cards stating that they were on night duty. Please, I would like that to be addressed. Thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon, members of the PTL. My name is Juliana Taiwo Baloyin. I write for the Sun newspapers. Sir, SGF, sir, again, the Minister of Aviation is not here, but this really concerns him because freight forwarders are threatening to go on strike over demurrage refusal of the two aviation companies on demurrage waivers. And we understand that NACO and HACO have been on strike for the past 2 weeks. Seaport has 100% waivers. Why not airport? This is presidential directive. How come they are not adhering to this directive? Because we believe government and even those involved are losing funds. This is for the Minister of Foreign Affairs. With the refusal of Canadian government to grant Air Peace landing permit, what is the fate of Nigerians there who want to return home? Thank you.
Mo kí alága àti gbogbo ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀. Orúkọ tèmi ni Agboola Elúfowójú láti iléeṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán àpapọ̀ NTA. Ìbéèrè mi lọ sọ́dọ̀ Mínísítà fún ètò ìròyìn àti ọ̀rọ̀ àṣà Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Ìbéèrè náà ni pé láìpẹ́ yìí ni ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Borno kéde pé òun ti gbẹ́sẹ̀ kúrò lórí òfin ìséde kónílé ó gbélé, àti pé àwọn ilé ìjọsìn ẹlẹ́sìn Kristi tàbí ti Islam wọ́n lè lọ máa jọ́sìn. Ìbéèrè mi wá ni pé tí àwọn ó ṣeé ṣe kí àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ mìíràn náà tẹ̀lé irú ìgbésẹ̀ yìí, ṣé eléyìí ò lè ṣe àkóbá fún àwọn àṣeyọrí tí ó ti wáyé nípa ìgbógun ti àrùn COVID-19?
The Chairman, National Coordinator, members of the task force, my colleagues. My name is Amaka Ude. I report for Arise News. And my first question goes to the Minister of State for Education. Well, with the COVID-19, it has compelled us to look at the e-education